welcome to episode 15 of Things We Play. It's Tuesday the 15th of May. My name is Mike Oldman, and with me, as always, is Shaun Hart. Shaun, hello.
Hello, Mike.
How are you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm alright. Yeah, I'm pretty good, actually. We're one man down.
Yeah.
Joe, Vincenzo, Luigi, Tom Clancy, Tanetta.
I'm surprised you actually remembered that.
I think I missed one out. He's not here. He's not here this week. He's actually not going to be here next week either, is he?
No.
But he is making a little appearance at the end of the show for Educating Joe.
Yeah.
A little retro section where we'll be looking at Zombies Ate My Neighbours. So, you know, Joe fans, don't be too disappointed. He is coming. You will get to hear his booming voice, but not right now. Right now it's just us. And yeah, so it's been a week. What's happened in your week?
I should really write notes about what's happened in
what's
my
happened
week.
in your life? Yeah.
Jack, man, I've been occupied.
Anything been on TV?
I don't know.
You've watched? You watched any Netflix?
I don't watch TV.
You showed me. You did, because when you and Joe came around the other night, so we could record this Educating Joe piece.
Yeah.
And we watched an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, not the new one, which is The Legend of Korra.
And you've been raving about it for ages.
It's awesome. It is literally the greatest TV show ever made.
It was alright.
Yeah,
it's a cartoon.
You've got no soul, man.
I don't know if I've got any time for cartoons anymore.
It's 20 minutes an episode. All you should do is when you're going to bed, you throw it on.
Yeah, I know, but once I pushed 30,
it's irrelevant.
I went cartoons.
No, it's irrelevant.
And I took a long look at myself.
You can't dismiss an entire medium, because every medium has its own credit.
I'm not dismissing the medium.
You're saying cartoons. That's a medium.
Yeah, but I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying I don't.
It's like you're 30 and you play video games. Why can't you be 30 and watch cartoons?
Because the cartoons aren't specifically aimed at 30-year-olds, whereas sometimes the games are.
No, the most are aimed at 18-year-olds. They don't have a rated 30.
I think no, they don't have a rated 30. They don't need to, but I think the target audience is sometimes older than that, and cartoons aren't. 7-year-olds.
No, but it's universal.
It's universal. Anyway, it was all right.
I mean, my daughter doesn't really like it. I think it's a bit too character driven.
Well, that's why I'm thinking it's only all right.
Ah, you're an arse.
You know? What does your daughter like?
She likes Wonder Pets.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's not. It sucks.
Sounds wondrous.
It's like Third and Bird. There's a lot of singing in it.
Okay. Well, at least you tried with Avatar.
You'll come round to the dark side. You will.
Fair enough. All right, so all right, we'll skip that then. Let's not talk about Avatar: Last Airbender. I thought it was okay. It looked kind of like the games.
No, none of the games are okay though.
No, all right,
they're all shocking.
Well, let's talk about some real games then. Let's get down to the nitty gritty with stuff we're going to talk about this week. Do we start with the big one?
I think we should save it for a bit.
We'll save it for a little bit. Okay, we'll start with a littler one. Maybe we'll start with the demo, with Spec Ops demo. We talked about it last episode because it was just been released while we were recording.
Yeah.
Is it Spec Ops: The Line?
Yeah.
What's the line?
I don't know.
They've crossed it.
Maybe.
They've overstepped it.
Into Dubai.
They've drawn a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah, Spec Ops: The Line, it's a new Spec Ops game. I don't know much about it, to be honest, because I've been a bit dark on it, and I'm not a massive Spec Ops fan anyway, but the whole sort of crux around this one was sand. You know, so you're in Dubai,
yeah.
and there's been like a sandstorm that's taken over the place.
Devastated everything, hasn't it?
And so the game, when they've been talking about it online, has been all about you utilising this sand to create traps and change your environment to kill enemies and stuff like that. So you're avoiding sandstorms, but also there's a bit in the demo where you break a bit of glass that's got sand on it, and the sand falls on the guys, and they're all like, I can't shoot you now, I got sand in my eyes, I got sand in my ears.
To be fair, out of the demo, I mean, I didn't finish the demo.
Nice one for investor.
That was the only sand-related incident I
had.
had.
It was. No, so I went through the whole demo. I must say the demo was pretty good anyway, but that is the only instant, I think, in the demo where you find it. They didn't make a big deal out of it. The demo was quite nice. I thought it was quite slick, because it was like 3 or 4 separate bits from the campaign pieced together.
Oh, okay.
And it had cutscenes in the middle of the demo, and it was a nicely put together sort of package, I suppose. They put a lot of work into it seemed. The game was alright. It looked nice.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty cool for a third person sort of, squad squad thing in Dubai. Like you say, the sand stuff didn't really make much of a
impact at
an
all.
impact.
No.
I'll give it a look. It was an interesting enough story. Something it was quite edgy. The whole sort of the way the guys were, which I thought was quite cool. Made me like if it was a movie, maybe I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, I mean the banter between soldiers, your squad members, is pretty funny stuff at the beginning, where they're wandering around and like nothing's happening, no one's about, and one of the guys is like, I'll think of it as a paid holiday because one of the squad members is moaning.
Right.
And then the other guy responds with, "Yeah, I prefer my beaches to have a 3-to-1 dead female hotness ratio or
Nice.
something along those lines."
Okay. But yeah, it's cool. It had character. It was better than it wasn't. You know, I always think of Spec Ops as being this sort of faceless brand that
Generic
you're either into it
shooter.
or you're not, and if
Sure.
you're not, you're never going to get into it. And this seemed to break down that a little bit. I don't know when it's out. Presumably it can't be that long away. If you've got a demo.
I don't know.
It's maybe worth a look.
I'm sure you and Joe will play it.
Yeah, and you won't.
No,
just
more
not.
than likely I'll
You're not
just
gonna.
reject it.
All right, fine. You didn't. Yeah. Well, so that was Spec Ops. We'll see if Joe liked it a little bit more, maybe when he's back. But it's okay.
By the time he's back, it might be out. You never
That's
know.
true, and everyone can go and play it and find out for themselves anyway. All right, then. Well, let's move on from Spec Ops. Let's go into an actual game.
Yeah.
Awesomenauts. Do you want to talk about Awesomenauts?
Let's do Awesomenauts.
Because those nauts are awesome. What do you think about Awesomenauts? I've heard really good things about it, despite the fact that I'm not really interested in it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Oh, excellent.
It looks really, really, really slick. Frame rate is really high. Animation quality is good. Presentation wise, it is super slick. It's got kind of retro's 80s cartoon intro to it with matching jingle, kind of along the lines of Bucky O'Hare. If anyone actually remembers
Nice.
Bucky O'Hare,
Captain.
yeah, exactly. But the gameplay just doesn't do it for me personally.
So what is it? What are you doing in the game?
Basically, you've got symmetrical maps. There's 3 maps, 6 characters, I think, in total to choose from. Initially, kind of only 3 of them are available to you until you start to like level up and stuff. You have a drill at each end of the map, which is what you're protecting, which is drilling for unobtainium or something along those lines. Then you kind of got 2 paths, one high path, one low path. Both are blocked off by 2 guns that are defending your end of the territory. You then have little kind of mini bot things with shields and circular swords that go out, and you kind of have to hang behind those. But man, they move so slowly, and your guy moves like twice as fast. So
It's
you have
got
to
like
keep jutting along.
It's almost like a tower defense. Sort of
Yeah,
style.
very much so.
You're sending
Yeah.
out waves of guys to try and destroy these things.
But man, you just grind and grind and grind against these massive guns, and obviously the whole thing's online. You've got like one level that's offline, which is practice mode, against NPCs, and the rest of the time the entire game's online. And I think people have just been playing it since it came out. Obviously, some people are going to be quite addicted to it and enjoy it immensely, so they're playing constantly. Where I've had it for a week, but not actually played it because I've been playing other stuff and stuff that interests me more.
So you're saying that you got it, you jumped online and you got your ass handed to you.
Yeah, and then I just stopped playing.
You're like, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah,
It's picking on me.
I went back to it again to kind of see if I did to invest a bit more time in it and see if I did get on with it, and yeah, I didn't. It's got some interesting kind of power ups and stuff. So you've got a vending machine quite close to where you spawn. As you're killing enemies and stuff, you earn, I can't remember what they're called, gold cubes or silver cubes. So that's some sort of space currency, and then you can buy upgrades from the vending machine, kind of extra bombs, new moves. So you've got most of your special powers are kind of mapped to your face buttons. You've got jump, shoot, and then you kind of get a special power for B and a special power for Y, depending on your character. Yeah, it's kind of there. Really,
it's weird. I think it's just one of those games you're just gonna either gel with or not.
Yeah,
I've been like
definitely.
checking on Facebook, and there's people that I've seen that are absolutely loving it, going, "You got to get this game. It's the best game ever." To me, it just doesn't. It never changes from that setup either. Do you? You're always just trying to break down these gun turrets and get to the final drill type things or whatever. And that's kind of it. So it's like, if you like it, then yeah, cool. But it just looked, like you say, to me, it just looked like a lot of running in, bashing this thing as much as I could until my energy's nearly down,
and
then running
pegging it
away,
back to get
recharging,
health,
and coming
come
back. And it's like,
but usually
yeah,
it doesn't
I
happen
don't
like that. Usually you go in with like your bots, you get shot a lot. Someone who's really good at it just destroys you within about 30 seconds, and you respawn.
It looked a little bit too Flash animated as well. Like,
Yeah,
to me, it looks a bit like
it looks
Shank.
like it could have been done in Flash, yeah, certainly.
Which,
but I like Shank.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I haven't bought number 2, but I do own number 1, and I've finished it.
those games were good. I missed it. I like the Shank games, but they again weren't as popular as they should have been.
Yeah, certainly.
I might check out Shank too. All right, well, yeah, it's Awesomenauts. It's pretty awesome.
Was it?
It's like, or is it naught?
Yeah,
You
some
know?
people think it's awesome.
I like the idea of the whole sort of Saturday morning kids show sort of thing, stuff. So,
I mean, it made me smile when it kicked in, and it's kind of got the year is 1329 sort of thing.
yeah. All right. Well, we're breezing through these games.
Yeah.
So let's move straight on then to another just short one I want to dip into. I've been playing Stranglehold.
Yeah, you did.
You know, Max Payne 3 is out on Friday.
It is.
And I was like, well, I need to get some slow-mo diving in my life again. And I thought I'll pick up Stranglehold. You know, I played it to, completion when it came out and haven't played it since. So I thought that's probably worth checking out. First thing that hits you when you boot up Stranglehold is, wow, people looked really bad. People look bad in games now, but people looked really bad in the games back then. Like, Cherry on Fat looks pretty ropey. I mean, this is an old Midway game from when Midway existed, isn't it? You know, and Unreal Engine 3, third-person shooter, run around, slow-mo, bullet time, Max Payne stuff, yeah. But with a more Hong Kong cinema sort of twist. So you can, you've got what I liked about it, which I forgot, was you've got you just hold down the left trigger, and then you go into almost parkour mode where you'll run up any sort of obstacle
and
so
slide down railings.
Yeah, so you can run up banisters on stairs. Slide down banisters and stairs and rails, and dive through the air in slow motion onto a shopping cart, or well, it's not a shopping cart, but like a
trolley
thing, and then
T-trolley.
Control the trolley whilst in slow mo running around shooting people. It's got a load of really cool ideas. But the game's so focused on like you don't shoot the bad guys anymore.
Yeah,
you shoot the neon sign above him and that falls on him. And so you're ending up like, well, I'm not shooting anyone anymore. It does have those cool standoff moments where like 4 guys will pop up around you and they'll go in slow motion and you have to like dodge
the bullet while shooting them.
whilst taking people out. But the slow mo in that game just, I think it was quite impressive when it first came out. But we've seen it a lot now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it got fantastic reviews at the time. I vaguely remember reading an Edge review for it.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
But I went out and bought it anyway because I liked Hard Boiled as a film and wanted to know what happened to Officer Tequila time. That's what the
it is, slow-mo's called. But the slow-mo's just not very slick. It's not very smooth and stuff. Like if you watch Max Payne videos now, Max Payne 3 and stuff, the animation on the character as he's diving through the air and his legs coming up, and just how silky smooth that slow-mo is, which is what it needs to be in order to be gloriously effective.
Yeah.
Just Stranglehold doesn't quite have.
But I mean, at the time, a lot of people were using Unreal Engine ineffectively anyway. I mean, if you look at Wheelman, what's his face? Riddick looks rubbish. He's got really weird teeth in it.
Well, people have never been easy, but you'd think Vin Diesel would be the one person that Unreal Engine 3 would easily be able to recreate. It's like every fucking enemy in Batman Arkham Asylum, yeah?
Yeah.
There's no hair for you to worry about, which is the thing that it deals with badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then they certainly were a bit ropey. Interestingly, bring up Wheelman is I went to a bit in Stranglehold on like one of the early levels, where it's not a part of the level you need to go into, it's just an extra bit. I went to a movie cinema in it, and there's a Wheelman trailer on the screen. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Yeah. So I just thought, I want to get ready, hype myself up for Max Payne. I played through the previous Max Payne games and then Stranglehold to try and give me that experience on 360.
It didn't?
It was alright. Do you know, the other thing with that game is the first level's the best level.
Yeah,
where you're
probably
in the streets and stuff and you've got melons exploding and neon signs. All that's cool. After that, it just kind of goes massively downhill. And it made me
There are some really horrible bits in there, actually. There's the boss fight where you're in a museum
section.
No, I'm pretty sure there's not.
Yeah, there's a museum. There's a bit with a dinosaur. You can slide down a dinosaur bank.
But he's like in the centre, and you've kind of got to hide behind pylons and stuff and try and take him out. There's a boss fight against a Hind D, or something along those lines. It's like an
there's
Apache
lots of on rails
or
shooting stuff. I just always remember there being a car thing, but maybe there's not.
I can't remember. I mean, it was a long time ago I played Stranglehold. I haven't played recently.
Since buying it again for £5, I have put it down. and
Yeah.
I'll never go back to it ever again.
And there's the level with the lasers, man. The level with the lasers is absolutely it's heinous on a massive scale.
Okay.
Where you kind of just got to dive down corridors of lasers, and if they touch you, you die.
Nice.
It might be insta death even, which is twice as worse.
So yeah, so Stranglehold, you know, it was designed to prep me. I think it has got me more excited for Max Payne 3 because it's kind of shown me how not to do the stuff that's going to do. But I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Tried to play multiplayer. In fact, me and Joe might try and get some multiplayer on the go, which was the main inspiration for getting it. But no one else is playing multiplayer. The multiplayer is dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that.
So maybe we can do a little local game. But I don't know. All right, move along, Mr. Max Stranglehold 3. What else have we been playing?
The big one,
The big one?
which is probably going to dominate this show.
Yeah. You know, you said last week.
I wasn't looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was giving you shit about having points for XBLA games that you don't like.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I've got 1,600 points for Minecraft and I'm not going to like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the big one today is Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because we've been playing quite a lot of that.
I've been doing pretty much nothing else.
You've, I'd say you've maybe enjoyed it.
A lot, yeah. Yeah, I mean, my initial fear was that it was going to have the junk jack crafting system, where you need
Or
to...
the Minecraft crafting system.
Yeah, well, both. The PC version of Minecraft's crafting system, where you have to put specific materials into specific slots, and then...
Yeah, so it doesn't tell you anything up front. It's just kind of figure it out. You know?
Yeah.
And it sort of makes sense to a degree in that you make almost the shape of a pickaxe.
Yeah, sure.
With the right materials to make a pickaxe. But basically, you're playing that game with a wiki open the entire time to look up these recipes. But it doesn't have that.
No, they've been very kind to us on 360 and given us the Terraria crafting system instead.
They've streamlined it really well.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the actual interface and stuff for Minecraft on 360 works very, very well. And so for all these recipes, you can just see everything you can make once you can make it. So once you've got a workbench, you can see, and a furnace or whatever, you can see all of the different options that you can make. Yeah. And you just pick and choose them. Once you've got the ingredients, you can
just select it and it sticks in your inventory.
I still can't get over this game is 1,600 points. It still mind fucks me a little bit because that is very expensive. But I haven't thought about that once whilst playing it.
No.
And we must have.
I think I've had my 14 quid out of it already.
Yeah. What sort of ballpark hours you've put into it now? Do you reckon?
Man, I'd hate to think. I don't. At least 24 hours, I want to say.
Yeah,
at least 24 hours.
Which is obscene.
It's more than I put into most games. Certainly.
Yeah, exactly. And for an XBLA game, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So, why? Why is it awesome?
I don't know. Do you know?
All I can think of is just countless times when it's been awesome, as opposed to why it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I think the music's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that I've spent a lot of time in your world just building stuff.
I think you spend more time in my world than you have in your own.
And I kind of think it's awesome that we'll sit there for like 3 to 4 hours of an evening doing stuff and not say a word. You know, and it's like we're in a party and the headsets are on and everything like that, but like no words are said because it's just concentration.
You're
and exploration
over one side of the map planting secret trees or whatever the hell you're doing in my
just making your world better.
And then I'm like doing some epic project of minecart track, or now the current project is the castle in the sky.
The castle in the sky. So we should probably stress that we've been playing it as builders more than anything.
Yeah.
Because you can play it in different ways. By affecting your difficulty level, you've got, hard, normal, easy, and then peaceful mode. And peaceful mode gets rid of all the enemies.
Yeah.
Because the basic deal is that at night time, bad dudes come out and they want to hurt you. And most of them are just like zombies.
Yeah, zombies and skeletons and
zombies
spiders.
are a bit tough and they kind of just walk towards you and just hurt you that way. Skeletons have bow and arrows, which fire at you from quite a distance, and they're good shots. And then there's creepers that kind of sneak up behind you, and when they get close, explode, taking out a massive chunk in your world. So these basically appear anywhere there's darkness on the normal scene. But at night, they obviously come out and start ruining your houses and stuff. Right. We've not been playing in that mode. We've been playing in peaceful mode where none of that's on. Yeah. We're just in the world and just mining and building.
My shit is too precious for creepers to be blowing up.
It's a different game though, and I wanna do it more in survival mode, because at first I was playing it with the enemies on.
Yeah, so did I.
And it's kind of cool when nighttime comes and you're like, I've got to lock myself into my house now because this ain't safe. But then you only need to get burnt twice of a creeper blowing the entire front face off of your house before you're like, I'm turning this shit off. Because at that point then you've got, once you've built your first structure, you're kind of like, that's mine. You know, I made that. That wasn't there before. And even no matter how crap it looks, it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apart from your first house, which was dreadful, and you never went back to it.
It's hole in a wall.
But yeah, so now the building's getting quite
elaborate,
out of control. Yeah, you've got a railway system in your world now, which is quite nifty.
Yeah,
that's what we spent a long time on last night.
Yeah. Well, I spent probably about 14 hours in total building that rail system.
So yeah, I think that's cool, and the rail system you've got is cool and it works and it's great, but it's not pretty.
No, it is. It functions.
You know, the world needs to. It's got to look nice as well. I feel like you've got a lot of crap in your world.
Yeah, mostly put there by you. Thanks.
Yeah, true. But that's because I don't know. I don't want to affect other stuff.
Just build a house or something. You just build like weird structures and set them on fire.
It's all about the skyscraper project.
Yeah,
that's my next project.
Sky High, Project Sky High.
Project Sky High. Yeah, I want clouds going through it.
Word.
So Minecraft's it's insane. It's just grabbed everyone.
It is a new level of digital addiction. I mean, I had the same thing with Terraria. You spoke about Terraria on the show. I never spoke about Terraria on the show.
All right.
I was just pointing that out.
Okay.
It's not accusatory.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's got that. You got the bad bug with Terraria as well, and man,
but I think even though Terraria's got more options and stuff, more drive to beat bosses and things like that, because obviously Minecraft doesn't have bosses. I don't think the updated PC version.
It has an end. Yeah, the PC version, as I understand at the moment, has an end state now. Right. There's like an adventure mode where you can go through stuff. But currently on the X36 version, there's no bosses. The loot. I mean, Terraria is all about loot.
Yeah,
you can
get crazy stuff. Yeah, lava armor and laser guns. And rocket boots and
exactly. Whereas Minecraft's more a focus on
building,
or crafting, I suppose. This game, I don't know, man, this game is insane. The music, the look of stuff, snow, first time you find snow. When it rains, it's just,
Yeah, at first you was enamoured of the rain. You was like, oh man, the rain's awesome.
First time I saw rain,
I love rain. It looks so fantastic.
Now it's so loud. It's so loud in my headphones.
Go and hide in the house until the rain's gone.
But there's the level of stuff you can make. I mean, this is old. They announced day before yesterday, or maybe even yesterday, that first week of sales globally, this has taken 1 million.
Yeah.
This has done 1 million units. That is a lot of people playing this game.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, or I'm fairly confident, I'm certainly hopeful, that that will affect the way Microsoft and Notch have their agreement with regards to the free updates to update it to the PC version.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this may even be, if Microsoft are looking at it and going, 1 million people that have bought this, smashing every other XBLA record, I'd get behind it if I was them,
Definitely.
I'd look into the possibility of even having things like dedicated servers.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm right, and I may be wrong, but I think Section 8 Prejudice has dedicated servers.
Right.
So there is a way of them doing it.
Sure.
And if they could do that, it'd be awesome, because I'd love a world that just existed there all the time, and I could go back to it and go, oh, my friends have done loads of other crazy stuff. And, maybe you can password protect it or something and have people get into it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because the one issue that we've been experiencing, certainly when I've been in your world a lot, is lag.
Yeah.
Has been an issue.
I mean, Joe was really bad.
But Joe's internet connection is buggered.
Apparently.
It's like we're still getting dogged by that same problem of your freaking NAT settings being open or strict or closed or whatever it is. And we can never all do it. Luckily, we can connect up all right. But we've had some pretty bad lag in the game where you've been like destroying a block, it doesn't destroy, or it reappears immediately afterwards.
Yeah, when I was in your world, I was having some really dodgy.
And you just gotta wait for it. It's one of those things where you need to not like destroy a block and then destroy another block and then destroy another block because it keeps appearing. The first time you did it. It's just syncing up the worlds. So that sucks a little bit. But I'm sure they'll sort it out. And bear in mind, it's patch free at the moment, isn't it? So they'll be looking at it, and certainly if there's 1 million people playing it, that's a lot of voices of people going, this doesn't work properly, or something, Because it's hard locked on me,
it does it all the
5 or 6 times now. I recommend to absolutely everyone save independently. Do not do save and exit.
No, because it will crash on you and you will be screwed. And it will corrupt your save file.
So that's pretty cool. And we've also found the nifty little duplication bug with the dispenser, which has made us make more gold.
Yeah.
And more like the building, that's awesome. Because I've been watching videos online of people building, recreating Hogwarts and stuff.
Oh, really?
In Minecraft. And that's cool. And they do it, they actually do it physically in the world, building it brick by brick. But the one conceit they give themselves is they
They're
have
cheap,
unlimited
yeah.
stuff, you know, because that's otherwise you just
Yeah, I mean, when I was building a railway track, I mean, to get the achievement on a rail,
yeah.
which is travel, what is it, 500 meters, a kilometre away from your starting point,
Yeah.
without the duplication thing. I mean, I thought my track was long before the duplication bug, and to get that achievement, the track is like 5 or 6 times longer than it originally
Yeah,
was.
it's an obscene amount of time. But I'm wondering, like, we've probably made, because there's a finite amount of all the resources in the world.
Yeah.
So, like, you could find all the diamonds. There are no more diamonds then. I think we've probably already made more diamonds and gold than there are in your world.
Possibly.
And that just got quite funny. It got to the point where it was just spewing out gold bars onto the floor and no one could pick them up. And for some reason, like, the way it glitched is like every time the gold bars hit the floor and you picked up another one, you weren't picking up a gold bar, you weren't picking up 64 gold bars, you were picking up an endless, infinite gold bar. And then it just had like millions of them, and it was out of control.
I mean, the gold bars was amusing, the diamond axes were not. You spewing diamond axes everywhere, and you're trying to juggle your inventory.
And every time you move something out, a gold axe or a diamond axe
will appear, and you're for the love of God.
Yeah.
And I couldn't pick up my railway tracks, and yeah.
It's not, you know, it's not great.
I mean, the glitch is useful. It serves its purpose.
You just got to use it carefully, haven't you? It's sort of like...
Responsibly,
now that
without Mike and you.
Well, now that we've got it as well, you need to resist the urge to use it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because all this, it's like... as much as we've had loads of fun playing the game, I still feel like we're not playing the game properly. I still want to do it like without using the glitch and with all the enemies on, and just like experience it, because we've like changed it into our own little Lego kit now.
Yeah.
It's like there's no enemies, we can make as much stuff as we want, and we're just building, and that's cool, but it is different. And I'd love the idea of just doing proper survival stuff where at night you're hiding and you're fortifying your thing, and you know, that whole idea of trying to build an environment where you can live whilst being attacked, and the sort of corners you've got to cut to do. Like, I've just got to get this wall up now. Yeah. You know, and then adding to that is kind of cool, because then every time you like expand a little bit, you're putting yourself more at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just going off searching in the world, and you're thinking, it's getting dark. You know, I've either got to turn back or I've got to start building some sort of cave for the night to lurk in. And if you do just hunker down into a cave, night's quite long.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It can be really, you know, like sitting there thinking, "Fuck!" You know, if there's a creeper at your door with his arm through the window, it's just like, "You're not leaving, are you?" And he's like, "Ah."
And the worst thing is, it's like everything else other than creepers and spiders. Well, there's only got 4 enemy types.
Yeah.
But creepers and spiders don't die in daylight, so it's like you're not even safe in day. Once the first night has passed, then there's creepers wandering around in your world, which will blow your shit up.
Yeah. You just need to hope that... Well, as long as they don't see you, you're kind of alright, because they never get close.
Yeah,
if one's already spotted you and you're inside your house, it's just going to wait.
Yeah, it just hangs around outside. But you do have stealth.
Yeah, which I didn't even realise. You've got the crouch button, which isn't crouching, is stealthing.
Yeah.
But does it work? Have you used it?
No.
No, because we don't have enemies on, do we? So.
Even when I had enemies on, I didn't try it.
I'm just always amazed by the sheer size of the hole that is left where a creeper has exploded. You know, and it's like, I tried to combat it by building all my houses out of stone and stuff and making them quite fortified, but they still come up and blow up at the front door, and the front door's taken out. Like 5 bits of glass from the windows are all gone. You know, some of the roof's gone, and all the floor, all the grass outside my house is now like underneath.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, you know, like I need to fix that now, and you bastard. And if you've got loads of them, you've got like 6 of them on you.
Oh man.
Then
very quickly, I wouldn't even want to think
it can go from bad to freaking awful.
Yeah.
So that game is insane. Seeds as well. We recommend to everyone.
Yeah, seeds.
So you can chuck in your own seeds. So the way seeds work is that you can almost assign the randomly generated levels tags, I suppose. In theory, every level that's created has one of these seeds attached to it. Although the Xbox 360 version doesn't let you see what your world was,
right? What
your seed is.
Yeah.
But you can add one from the beginning. So we added the things we play. Yeah. Seed into a level. So just things we play with spaces, capital T, capital W.
W.
Yeah, exactly. Capital W and a capital P for play. And that will bring you out in a things we play world. And when you do that, you will get the same world generated as anyone that uses that same seed.
Yeah. So it's basically the binary code behind the level.
Yeah, it kind of gives it a point from which to generate the level on, so it always generates the same level. The things we play world pretty damn cool.
It is.
It's got snow
Sweet.
and ice and stuff in it, loads of resources, wicked caves and shit. I recommend that for people.
Yeah.
But there's some really cool ones out there. In fact, you can go to the website minecraftseeds.net, I think, which archives a load of them and has done from the PC version.
Yeah.
And any of the ones from version 1.3 to 1.7 will work
On
the
360.
360 version. And some of them are nuts. There's ones with diamonds everywhere. There's ones with crazy sort of Avatar-style floating islands with waterfalls coming off. There's some really good stuff to look at. So it's worth experimenting with. It's worth, actually, if you're going to just start a new level, it's worth putting in something in the seed box anyway, so that if it's really cool, you can then share that with someone else. So I recommend just putting 1, 2, 3, 4 in there or something. Although 1, 2, 3, 4 has probably already been
done a lot.
But, something like that.
Think of something funny.
Yeah. So railways, that's where you've been, and now you're building a castle in the sky.
Yeah.
The aforementioned sky castle.
Yeah.
You build weird stuff. I've built quite a smart little
your world is sterile.
Yeah, but it's smart. It's slick. It's like it looks
slick.
quite pro.
It doesn't. It looks
Whereas yours,
rubbish.
like you've got like this old rustic sandy castle, which I might add has the worst name in history.
Sandy Halls.
Sandy Halls. No, come on in. And it's this big sort of like overblown, fucking slightly gold-looking queer castle on a hill.
It's awesome. You see it from miles away.
Oh yeah. And I'm not building stuff like that. I'm building more sort of respectable, sleek, sort of Tony Stark type properties.
You and Tony Stark
into the walls. But you had an issue with your Sandy Halls, didn't you? Because when we first found Netherrack and realised that we could make fires, like ever-burning fires. You wouldn't make a fireplace. Yeah. And what happened?
All my wood floor within Sandy Halls caught on fire.
So you built a fireplace on like the middle floor.
Yeah.
And it set fire to the upper floor, which is quite good. I was glad I was there for that moment because I was just like roaming around the forest, just chopping down trees, turn around and it's like, oh yeah.
I think it's up 2 floors.
Sandy Halls is on fire.
Yeah.
In theory, the whole thing should turn to glass.
Yeah, but the bricks weren't affected. It was just the wooden floors because I wanted the nice effect of wooden floors throughout the house. And
you can't have wooden floors.
They just went up. Even when we built like a cobblestone surround for the fireplace.
Yeah, it was just too close.
It just doesn't do it. It doesn't block the heat or anything. The entire place went up.
But that's because Sandy Halls, the rooms aren't that big, man.
No, they're not.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing property. It's in a nice location, although it is above a big mine,
Now,
but apart from that, it's a good location in the world. But it's not.
Don't worry. The Sky Keep is gonna blow it out of the water.
What's the inspiration for these names?
Well, they fit what they are.
Sky Keep. All right, I'm making a skyscraper.
Right.
Straight out of 9/11. Just one.
Right.
Just one. So the same thing can't happen in my world.
Okay.
There's nothing in the sky, is there?
In what respect?
As in,
there's clouds.
Nothing, as in anything. As in a thing.
There's big square
there's
sun.
There's nothing in the sky.
Square moon.
There's a square moon, but there's nothing in the sky. It's clouds.
Yeah.
There's no birds.
No.
There's no planes.
No.
There's no Supermans.
No. There's no NPCs at all. Which I find it quite, when you're playing a single player game, I do find it quite lonely.
Yeah.
I want NPCs.
What would you want an NPC to do?
I don't know, just have a market stall.
Yeah, I suppose.
Swap resources.
I found it really quite not frightening because I'm not playing with enemies on, but I found it's affected me sort of like in a fear capacity when I've got like last night we were playing and I decided to just tunnel. It was just a big mountain. I was bored and I thought I'm just going to tunnel straight through this mountain, just 2 blocks high, just constantly all the way through one level all the way. And I was going through and I had no torches, so it was dark, but I could just about see. You could still see the light. And I got, after doing that for about 10 minutes and getting about halfway into the mountain, it was cool. I was comfortable and not a problem. Then I broke through one wall and I fell into a cave. And I was like, okay, I'm in a cave. And I could still just make out little paths in this cave. And I followed this cave for ages.
Yeah.
And went down and then got to a dead end. At that point, when I got to a dead end and turned round and realised I didn't know where I was, I genuinely started to panic a little bit in myself of like, where am I?
Yeah.
And how the fuck am I going to get out of here? Because it does a really good thing of like, you don't want to die because you drop all your stuff, and so
and then you've got to find where you were. There.
There's places where you can die and it's okay, and you'll just go and grab it again. But there's other places where if you're exploring and you're miles away, you don't want to die because you know.
If you diamond pickaxe or your diamond sword on you or whatever.
Yeah, and that stuff doesn't last forever. After a little while, it does just disappear.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that the game has created this sort of claustrophobic sort of, oh my god, I'm stuck in a 127 hours type feeling.
Yeah.
Shit, where am I? And that was when I was in your world. I wasn't even alone. You know, you were still on the other end of the headset. But I was genuinely feeling a little bit queasy about the fact that I'd just gone a bit too far. And that's awesome when that happens. There's little moments that are really good. It's cool when you break a block away and suddenly shitloads of water comes flying down.
Yeah,
you know?
or
lava.
Yeah, lava's a lot worse. I mean, lava by far is the most dangerous thing in that game.
Yeah, its only blessing is it's slow.
Yeah, but yeah, if you should happen to fall into lava and not manage to get out, that's everything you're carrying is gone for good.
Well, because it burns it up. Doesn't it? Doesn't just sit there. Yeah, that's a good point. It just you drop it and then it fizzes away.
By far the most dangerous thing in the game. Do be careful of lava.
Fires are also pretty devastating, as you found out in your house.
Yeah,
because they just spread. If the stuff's there, if the material's there, they will burn. It will burn. I love setting fire to trees, man. I just love wandering around setting fire to massive trees.
Pyromanic issues. I mean, fire is not nowhere near as scary as lava. I'm petrified of lava. I treat it with real respect and kid gloves.
But lava's terrifying for you as a person. It's dangerous to the player and their inventory, whereas fire's dangerous to your structures and your stuff.
But only if you've got a structure made out of wood.
Say maybe you just made your wooden floors in your.
It didn't matter because we just replaced it all with cobblestone, didn't we?
Yeah, but that's not something I came into your world to do. I feel like I've done a lot of menial fucking tasks by coming into your world and going, what am I doing? I'm replacing the floors in your stupid castle. You know, and that's it. I'm just I'll just get a load of sand.
And you maintain
I'm just working.
You use knocking out bits of corners of pylons. You're like, why is that there? Why is that sticking out?
Yeah,
and chip that away.
It's sloppily built. It's sloppily built.
Right, well, Skykeeper's being meticulously built.
It's that's why I go around just planting random trees randomly front doors so it blocks me in, because you don't keep that shit clean anyway.
No.
So I can do it and they'll just go boom, and then ultimately it's me that chops them down because they annoy me.
You set fire to them. So you set fire to trees last night.
The trees that were growing around the side of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that worked. It wasn't as dangerous as we were thinking.
We did think it might burn everything down.
So a ridiculous amount of time's been spent in Minecraft already.
Definitely, yeah. I'm looking forward to updates. I'm looking forward to downloadable content, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder when they'll start rolling that out. Not yet, I'd imagine, if it's selling as well as they don't need to.
They don't need to.
But hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I'm not in any way near burnt out on the game.
No. But I would like more kind of interesting items to build and collect resources for.
That's the downside, isn't it? By being able to see everything that you can build, you can see that there's no mystery necessarily a lot to build. And it doesn't show you necessarily everything. Like at first, you can't see everything. Then you buy the wood chest, and it's a bit more in the furnace and stuff. But it's not many items.
No,
But then there's stuff that's not in there. There's stuff that can only be found in the world, like saddles.
Yeah.
Which you got so you could ride around on a pig.
Yeah.
And CDs.
Yeah.
For the jukebox, which I still haven't been able to find. But there's stuff
they sound crazy
make,
hard to get hold of CDs.
Yeah, something like shooting. You got to get a skeleton to shoot a creeper.
But the creepers take 4 or 5 hits from an arrow.
Yeah, seemingly so. And in order to get them to follow you and get them in between you and a skeleton is really hard. I was trying to do it, and they just blow up. You just keep blowing up, and it's tough.
Yeah.
And my armor's not very good. I don't think the armor's very good anyway.
No.
It's funny. I played Minecraft before.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but didn't get the bug.
No.
And for some reason the 360 version has just nailed it.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. 1,600 points, and it's awesome.
It is.
That doesn't make any sense at all. 1,600 points times 1,000,000.
Yeah.
So
that's like 14 mil, give or take.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, Microsoft takes some, and there's people getting it. But that, Notch has.
He's not starving. Let's put it that way.
Not in any way, shape, or form.
Not starving for sports cars.
And let's have a look at it. I mean, Minecraft is now on pretty much every device
available. I've got it on my iPhone. I've never played it.
It's not bad on there. There's no enemies. It's just craft. They've just added crafting fairly recently, but this game is it's unstoppable. is it a game anymore? But the things you can make in it is not. I mean, that's the thing that's missing from the 360 version is that you can't. In a PC version, people have made everything from actual proper redstone computers to elevators with pistons and train networks, and it's more of a platform now than anything in itself.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you can make stuff. And not all of that's in the 360 version yet.
Yeah.
But it will be. It's interesting. We should probably look at the things that aren't. So there's a couple of things that the 360 version is like 1.6. I believe the PC version is around 1.8 at the moment.
Yeah.
Although don't quote me on that. But some of the differences are things like there's a hunger system in the PC version now. So you have to eat in order to just stay alive.
XP.
Yeah, there's XP for adventure mode. There's end states and stuff, and there's different things you can craft. But the hunger mode is the one that gets me. It's sort of like, well, I don't want that. That means when you eat something to make it better, to make you energy go up, it doesn't boost your energy necessarily, depending on how hungry you already are.
I mean, with any kind of gaming alterations, there's going to be pros and cons.
Yeah, sure.
It sounds like the hunger system's the con, but redstone computers and pistons and elevators.
All of that stuff's pretty cool. I just want the ability to skin my character a little bit more and have change the way he looks.
Yeah.
Steve, I believe his name is. And I'd like to be able to share my images somewhere other than Facebook.
Yeah. Twitter would be the preferable platform. For me.
Exactly. Or just even if I can just store a load on my hard drive.
Yeah.
And I could just view them that way if I didn't want to take them out and stuff. But screenshots are pretty cool.
Yeah.
It just takes too long to send a screenshot to Facebook.
It's true.
It's you've got a couple of upload bars. But yeah, Minecraft is awesome. If you haven't played it or got it, you need to. And actually, the tutorial is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a demo up, so if you're unsure, download it and give the tutorial a go.
Exactly.
There's like a little village and a
well, that's why the tutorial is cool,
because
it does have a castle and a little village in it. And whilst showing you the basics of what you can do with stuff, which you might find a little laborious, but it's worth doing. Tutorial, by the way, is not in the PC version. That's new for this.
Oh, okay.
It also does just show you stuff of like, wow, man, I could make a little cool village, or the castle's pretty wicked in it. Even the village, I think, is pretty cool. And just so that everyone knows, because I see a lot of people asking constantly online, that the big Minecraft written in the sky in the tutorial, there's like the words Minecraft written in the sky.
Yeah.
They're not in the main game. They're just in the tutorial. Loads of people have been freaking out, going, well, I don't want to build a world with Minecraft written in the sky. It's like, you won't. That's just there because you're playing Minecraft, and it's a tutorial, and that's that. It's just kind of showing you, this is what you could do.
Yeah.
That could say Simon, or Catherine, or whatever you want it to say. Well, if your name's Simon or Catherine,
just
or
build a ladder, go up there and change it.
Yeah. To
you would
else.
need the diamond pickaxe because the black surround is made out of obsidian.
Yeah.
Which will take you forever to chip away. There's a lot of obsidian out there.
Obsidian takes a ridiculous amount of time to mine. It's like, what? Mine? You need it. You need it in your life.
Yeah.
You need it in your life more than you realise. That's the thing. And then before you know it, you're just like, I'm just going for a walk. Oh, where are you going, honey? Oh, just into Minecraft. For a walk.
If I had a job, I'd be suffering because I'd be going to bed at 3 o'clock every morning, like I am.
True.
And then having to get up at like 6 or 7, and I would be just dead on my feet at work. So it came at the right time for me.
Yeah. So what we're saying is, be careful.
Yeah. Do treat it with respect.
Yeah.
Keep a large clock over the top of your television.
It's almost got that World of Warcraft sort of vibe to it.
It will suck away your life if you give it half a
Build
chance.
a clock in Minecraft would be a really good
I don't
idea.
know how accurate that is.
I was going to say, I haven't got a clock in Minecraft, but presumably it just tells you the time of the days in Minecraft, so it'll give you like an update of like night time's coming to.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you the actual time. I want a clock that tells me what time it is in my real, responsible world. So it just goes, or a little message that pops up, just goes, yo, dude, take a shit. Or, eat something. Things like that every now and then.
It'll be interesting to see if Minecraft ever makes it to the 3DS.
It's possible, I suppose. I don't know. And then this deal with Microsoft is exclusive, and so
right.
It's not even on Steam.
Oh, is it not?
No. So basically, get Minecraft, but use it wisely. Maybe use it with a few friends. Maybe get a few friends you can trust, and all go in on the Minecraft experience. Maybe have one person that doesn't, so they can remain in control. And then they can tell you, they can snap you out of it. If anything goes wrong, they're there. They can call the authorities, and you'll be all right.
They're the adjudicator.
But don't lock yourself in a room, buy Minecraft, not tell anyone what you're doing, don't let anyone know when you're coming back or anything like that, because it's just, that's how people have found in apartments across the world.
Dead.
Just from
being
the
eaten
smell,
by
and
their pet
a
cats.
neighbour finds it. You know,
Half chewed off face.
so just be responsible. You know, just let someone know. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
Let someone know. I'm just popping into Minecraft for a little bit. You know, I'll be back in only about 5-10 minutes, and then if they're saying that and they're not back in 5 hours, that
You need to check on them.
yeah,
Make sure they
exactly.
stick a mirror under
If
their nose.
not just to make sure they're okay, but just to see what the hell they've been building.
Yeah.
You know, maybe jump in that world and have a look. All right, so that's Minecraft.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break now then, and we're going to listen to a song that you've recommended, Sean,
Yeah.
because it's in the flavour, the spirit.
Of the show, of this episode. It's
It's in the spirit of Minecraft.
yeah.
It's by a chap called Dan Bull.
We've had Skyrim, his epic Skyrim rap before on the show, I'm sure.
No, we haven't.
Did we not?
No.
Oh, we should have.
You should listen to the show.
Yeah, maybe we
Every
should
once in a
have.
while. Anyway, this guy called Dan Bull who raps about games.
Yeah.
It would seem, and this is his Minecraft rap. So
Yeah.
we're gonna play a little snippet of that now.
I gotta admit, I rather like playing Minecraft, even though the graphic style's older than an iron bath. Creating's great, but on survival I am crap. It's like the beginning of Oblivion with the giant rats, swinging my fists around and all I hit's the ground. This shit's tricky, and I'm not spitting about the Bristol sound. Wish I could be whipping out a pixelated pistol. Pow! Booyah! Big man down. Now let's hit the town. Before I got this game, I promise you I did go out, but I've given it up for bricks. I'm clinically addicted now. I need my fix, or else I'll never leave my little house until I make it bigger when my finger simply clicks the mouse. It fills me with a sensation of power. That's why I'm building me a sensational tower to compensate for the shame when I gaze down in the shower. I've played for hours, I need a wee, so later I'll have to change my trousers. Just one more block and I swear I'll stop. Just one more block and I swear I'll...
Anything else we've got to talk about? I played a couple of indie games,
Yeah.
which I suppose we could mention. We haven't talked about an indie game in a while. First one was Quiet Please.
Right, yeah, I meant to download it. I haven't got
Yeah,
around
you
to it.
should. It's worth buying, actually. It's only 80 points. So,
Alright.
it's one of the original... Well, not an original indie game, but it's one of the original pricing. It's none of this, I'm a 300-point indie game.
Right.
No, go away. It's an 80-point indie game. And it's a little, like, RPG thing. It's all very, very pixel-based, but like, massive pixels. So, it'll take, like, only 4 pixels to do a head of this little girl. You play this little girl who's in her house, and... I can't remember what it is. I can't remember what the setup is. Maybe she's trying to do her homework or something. But she basically wants quiet.
Right.
And you have to go and make everything quiet. And it seems like your dad's out in the lawn mowing and stuff. Someone's watching TV. Someone else is. Your mum's talking on the phone and stuff. And you just got to try and, by affecting the environment, make those things stop.
Right.
So you can turn off the TV. You can just walk past it, turn off the TV. But then your dad will, or whoever's watching it, clicks the remote and turns it back on.
Right.
So you got to figure out a way of distracting him more, so that, or like get the remote away from him or something, so the TV can stay off. Similar with the lawnmower, you can cause other problems and set the dog free and various other things. Really nice, just a really nice, simple. It looks a little bit like Little Computer People, if anyone remembers that. But you just kind of get a side view of a house, like a cutaway of a house, and you're walking in all throughout the rooms,
Okay.
like those old sort of school days and things. So it's a really nice sort of little RPG. It looks good and it grabbed me. The demo's pretty cool. It's actually been put together quite well. It's got a proper demo. It's not just like a time limit on the main thing.
Sure.
You can't go upstairs in the main demo. Just cute, endearing, and seem to be well put out. You can pick up objects and move them around and various other nonsense. I think in order to get my mum off the phone in the game, I put like a bottle of whiskey or something on the kitchen table, and she was like, "Oh, that's okay. You can go upstairs now." And that was what changed it. So it seemed quite amusing. And you get ladders and you go up on the roof. I think for the TV you can like fuck with the aerial on the roof,
right?
And it doesn't work properly. So I recommend that.
Yeah, I'll give that a try. Sounds
the
good.
other game that I downloaded simply for the title alone, which just tells you a lot about the state of society these days, was called Unnecessary Violence.
Oh right, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm up for some unnecessary violence. Let's do that. And that actually wasn't why I downloaded it. The reason I downloaded it is because a lot of these indie games. A lot of them look rubbish, don't they? And they look like they've been built out of standard kits in terms of sprites and things like that. This one had quite
kind of stock.
Yeah, exactly. This one had kind of impressive looking 3D models, and it was a 3D racer.
Right. So you're talking about from the screens it gives you. If you
Gallery. Exactly. I always check the screens before I go in. And so I was like, yeah, I'll have a look at that. These look like they didn't look good, but they looked like fairly polished cars and stuff. Like one was like a blue sports car with machine guns on it. And I was like, yeah, I'll give that a look. I fired it up, and what it was is you're just in a car driving down a motorway or whatever, and you can shoot other cars.
Right.
A bit like
Chase
Spy
HQ.
Hunter or Chase HQ, yeah. And you're chasing after a certain bloke, and then you have to go and get that specific car. That was it. It was dog shit. It didn't work very well. They were stock fucking things that made like really poor 3D models, no animations, crap like explosions that looked like they'd been lifted from like, I don't know, an 80s movie and cut out in some crap movie editor and then pasted on flatly on everything else. It was diabolically bad.
But what's the handling like of the car?
Yeah, handling was tip top. Tip top. You know,
It's like driving a Veyron.
it was, yeah, rubbish. It was like 95% of the stuff on there. You know, just like, oh yeah, what a surprise, another shit game.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't recommend that. But Quiet Please was a nice, refreshing change.
I mean, for kind of every 10, 20 indie games you download, you might find one or two that you actually worth looking and worth.
Yeah, I think
Microsoft
it's worse than that. It's almost like for every 10 indie games you download, you'll find 30 shit ones. But like, that doesn't even make sense. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I mean, what inspires me to check the indies every now and again
Boredom,
is
right?
No, Official Xbox magazine always do a section at the back every month. And I'll see one or two that sound quite interesting and go and investigate, and inevitably you find other things that sound quite interesting.
The thing is, there's just so many.
So you give them a chance.
There's so many, and they're like displayed so badly.
70% of them involve zombies.
You'll get me to download your indie game if the name is interesting or your cover art is any good.
And it doesn't have zombies.
And it doesn't have zombies, yeah. But the cover arts are always like the worst things
Yeah,
ever. It's just like, dude, this is your game.
There are some shocking cover art to it.
Because it's interesting, like the guy that did Fortress Craft.
Yeah.
Because before Minecraft came out, there was loads of Minecraft clones on there.
A lot.
Fortress Craft was one of the first and one of the most popular ones. He is minted from it.
Oh, really?
Just from doing that, you know?
Nice.
And that's quite cool. So, and that was largely from his box, going, look, it looks like Minecraft. So, yeah, just, guys, indie developers out there, if you're making something, XNA based for XBLA, just spend 4 times as much time as you're planning currently to spend on your artwork for your box.
What I'd suggest, quite simply, is I'm sure you know someone who can draw. I'm sure you know someone who can use Photoshop. Just get a couple of guys. You go, I ain't got no money. You might get a bit of, I might give you like 1% of my royalties if it sells because your box art is awesome. Then we'll both get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Just pick up 5 Xbox boxes from your game shelf or whatever. Put them out in front of you and go, does my box look like it stacks up with any of those? And if the answer is obviously no, you fucking moron, do it again. If you think, yeah, it looks alright, then go for it. In fact, no, even then, don't go for it. Get another opinion, then go for it.
Unless your game's about stickmen, don't have stickmen on the cover.
And if you've called your game Ultimate Avatar something, you've already gone wrong. Just think of a decent name. Unnecessary Violence, not the worst name, not the greatest name ever, but just come up with something.
It didn't have Avatar
decent,
in the title. It didn't have stickmen on the cover.
Don't call it Super Avatar Shakedown. Although that might be alright.
Does it even exist?
I'm going to once again now plug Are You Smarter Than a Cheerleader? If you've not downloaded it, download it. Video footage of kidnapped women in some dude's living room answering questions dressed as cheerleaders, though they're clearly not cheerleaders. You have to see it to believe it. It's diabolical. So yeah, that's my top tip. I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, other than
Educating Joe, which we're going to now. This was recorded a couple of days ago. Yeah. And we're just going to squeeze it in here with Joe. So we're going to roll that around about now.
Once upon a time, there was a boy named Joe. He didn't play many video games as a child. He was too busy out running and jumping through fields, perhaps stealing apples. But then one day, he found himself inexplicably on a video game podcast, and 2 guys, Mike and Shaun, vowed to take him back through time to play the games he missed. This is Educating Joe.
Joe, hello.
Hello.
You're with us.
Yes, indeed I am.
You're not actually with us for this episode.
No, just for this
We've
section.
squeezed you in here. and we're here to talk about.
Was that you squeezed in Joe?
We didn't squeeze. No, we squeezed him into this segment of this episode.
Right, okay.
But
Just
no one's.
clarify.
It's just
no
your
one's
mind that goes
squeezing
to the
anyone.
gut, Sean.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about Zombies Ate My Neighbours, or just Zombies, as it was known over here.
You wasn't happy about me choosing this game.
No, it's a Super Nintendo game, isn't it? It's. I think it's a bit rubbish.
Well, it was multi-platform.
It was on Mega Drive and stuff.
Mega Drive.
I think that's probably it at the time,
Yeah.
isn't it? So it's a LucasArts game. LucasArts developed. Konami put it out. And how do you describe it? It's top-down, sort of...
Yeah, I mean, if it was on Xbox Live Arcade, it'd be a twin-stick shooter, wouldn't it?
Would it be a twin-stick shooter?
Yeah, I reckon it would be.
Yeah,
I'm
most
not sure it
likely.
would.
It looks like it'd control well with a twin stick shooter.
It would control well, but I don't know if it would naturally be one, because games like Robotron, for example, had the buttons on the other side, and you still use those for directional shooting. You don't have directional shooting on buttons on this one, you just have the one button thing, because you have the buttons are used for other things. Then maybe it wouldn't be a directional shooter. But anyway, that doesn't matter.
But you've got 4 shoulder buttons on
Let's
the Xbox.
explain what it is to people that haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's a top-down sort of shooter adventure game, I suppose, where
Yeah.
you are zombies and other creepy-crawlies, Halloween classic B-movie monsters have taken over this sort of suburban town. Or certainly that's the initial setting for the game. And your 2 kids, who I can't remember the names of. One might be called Jake. The other one might be
Boy
called
and girl.
Lola.
I don't even think
Whatever.
they have names on the selection
They-
screen. It's just boy and girl.
All right, and you have your task with sort of saving the neighbourhood, really. So whilst all these enemies are around, you've got your water pistol and various other weapons, and you shoot monsters as they come at you, and you're searching throughout the level, navigating your way around the level to find neighbours and family members and rescue them. You just go up to them and touch them. But the way it works is that there's certain doors that are locked. You have to find keys to go through, or there's only certain routes you can take by bouncing over walls with trampolines and various other nonsense like that.
Yeah.
So it's basically just kind of search against the clock as well, because otherwise the monsters will eat the neighbours. Search for the people. If you get them all, then a Bill and Ted style
Gateway.
Sort of, gateway opens
Appears
up
out
or
of
whatever,
nowhere.
and they can proceed to the next level. That's basically it in a nutshell. Agree or disagree?
No, that sounds about an adequate description of the game
Yeah.
itself.
Right. So as LucasArts made, Konami put it out. The SNES version is what we've been playing,
Yeah.
which was censored.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's slightly different to the original version. All the blood and gore has been removed and replaced by purple ooze.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it was par for the course those days, wasn't it? Sort of Nintendo censored
Yeah,
the hell out of
yeah.
everything. 2 interesting bits of information on this game before we get to how it played and what we thought of it is, 1, there was a sequel called Ghoul Patrol on the SNES, which was similar-ish but not really, and was a completely different game that was ultimately rebranded to become a sequel. It was
Right.
remanaged as a sequel. No big deal about it. Not very good either. Another thing, in 2011, the movie rights to this game were a deal was sorted, and the director behind Insidious,
Right.
is apparently directing a movie
really?
based on this game as of last year.
That's mental.
So it's kind of poignant that we've just kind of randomly picked it for the first Educating Joe session, because it seems to be current again.
Yeah.
which is nuts. So over to you guys. What did you think of it?
Oh god, it's not a good game in the slightest.
Interestingly, it didn't do very well
No,
at first.
but
It's got like kind of cult status now.
It did get really
But-
good reviews at the time.
Did it?
Yeah, I think CV&G
Okay.
kind of gave it like
I
8
think
or 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think maybe you could be right. And I just don't think it was set the world on fire.
I
But then
don't
it
think-
seems to have over time just become this sort of beloved classic, which is odd because I hate it. Joe has clearly said he didn't like it, but you chose it, Sean.
Yeah, I just literally just picked it at random. I don't think I liked it at the time. I don't particularly like it now.
Yeah. Did you own it at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. You just don't do very much in it. You're just sort of exploring around. It's kind of gauntlet style, I suppose. to
I
a
think
degree.
every 10 levels there's a boss fight as well.
Yeah.
I remember a giant baby in the mall.
It's big. There's 48 levels.
Is there?
Yeah, and there's like secret stuff and things like that as well.
I mean, there's the elements that I like about it. I like when you find the potions and you drink them, you turn into a monster and
Yeah.
just smash the shit out of everything. You're just like badass Superman.
It's also got some really dodgy enemies in there. It's like on the second level when you're in the shopping mall. The demon babies that throw knives at you. I was just like,
They're kind
what
of like
the-
Chucky dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just creepy as anything. And
I always had a problem with the fact that the families and neighbours that I'm saving didn't look very appealing at all. They looked like really comical, sort of grotesque caricatures of a classic family. It's like, well, that's like the granddad character, and I
Yeah.
don't want to go anywhere near him. Why would I want to save him?
Here you got the guy in the swimming pool in a ring drinking beer.
Yeah,
You got
it's
the-
like fucking. There's some sort of
To be
zombie
fair,
monster attack.
That exact same
and-
character is in Toe Jam and Earl as well.
Yeah, true. And in you know,
They're kind of just generic American
yeah, exactly. They're
50s
they're just stereotypes
portrayals,
that are coming across. That you would find in movies like Piranha 3D today. You know, it's that sort of thing.
But I was just like running around and I come across an army soldier. I was like, so I'm a kid running around saving my neighbours. You're an army soldier with a gun and can't do anything.
It's not consistent, I feel, as well, as to what your weapons are in the game.
Yeah, you get different weapons. I'm assuming they're for different enemies, but it just doesn't give you any info on weapons.
No, exactly.
Or
There's
enemies.
very little info. Yeah, so it's one of those games where the instruction manual would fill all that in for you, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe.
But you have a water pistol which takes down these enemies for a start.
Yeah. Even though
Um,
they're not, it's not like holy water and they're not vampires
No,
or anything.
it's just water.
Random.
And then you get things like cherry bombs
And
and
cans of
like
beer or
soda
Coke,
cans
yeah.
that they might like fizz up and open and spray everyone.
No,
in,
you just chuck them like
root
grenades.
beer.
Yeah, you can get like
Um,
popsicles as well.
Yeah.
Which
Strange.
I'm assuming you'd use those for the demon baby and it'd stop attacking. I
Yeah,
No,
it
you
doesn't
just,
seem
you
to
just
be-
throw them and they kill anything.
doesn't seem to be any
Yeah,
rhyme or
rocket
reason.
launcher.
just weird.
I quite like the fact that you can search objects when you're in the house. You can open like cabinets and things,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
sometimes goodies in there. Sometimes there's a monster in there or a ghost or whatever. That's quite cool. And I quite like the mechanic that those sorts of games have, where you can find a key randomly in the world, and you can use it on any door.
Yeah.
And you have to choose the door. I like having that freedom. So many games these days don't do that, where they're just sort of like, this is a key for that door. There's a different key for that door.
Yeah.
And you only ever find one at a time. But you can have like a bunch of keys in this and just go, well, I can get through there and get through that. It looks nice. It kind of looks nice, and the music's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's got some funky sort of like retro beat to it. I wasn't a big fan on the levels though.
They don't change enough. I think it's, but you know, they don't.
I mean,
Drastically vary.
throughout time, I think LucasArts has always been criticised for having really bad level design anyway. I mean, there's a lot on kind of Dark Forces. They got a lot of shit for having crappy level design.
I mean, complexity, I suppose, is a bit different on what you're going to be doing in that. But for this, I don't think the levels, particularly like the sort of your paths through things or your outlaying, is particularly
some of the
bad.
layouts are fucking shit.
It's just, but visually, I just don't think they vary enough. So it's like level 6, I think, is when you get to the Egyptian stuff.
Yeah, and it's just
And that's like a refreshing sort of like, oh, thank God things look a little bit different now, because otherwise it's kind of, you're always looking at the same sort of environment, really.
yeah, the levels never seem to make sense as well. I feel it's just like you find yourself just randomly running around trying to look how to get to the next part. Because if you use the triggers, you can bring up a map which shows you. It's just like a 9 square grid, and it flashes where there's a person you can get. That's all it does. It doesn't give you a map.
It's
at
like
all.
a basic radar screen in like Metal Gear Solid or something.
Yeah, so you're just running around trying. They're in that direction. You just cannot find your way in that direction.
If you get stuck, there is one thing you can do, like, because you can. If you wait long enough, then obviously the monsters kill the neighbours. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get stuck and you can't find the last one, just wait, because then they'll kill him and that'll be it. You've got them all then, and it'll open. You won't get the highest score or anything like that, but it's a way of proceeding to the next level. The levels aren't particularly big.
No.
You know, they don't take that long. You can play this game for 20 minutes and you'll get to like level.
And again,
7
as
or
the
something.
monster or with a rocket launcher, there are sections in walls that you can knock through.
Yeah, it was like the level I got stuck on was like 7 or 8, and I just couldn't, for the life of me, figure out how to get past the next step. I know you could open curtains, there was things you could take down, but I could just never progress past this one area that I was in. So I could go through doors, round stairways, go through other doorways, but it just seemed like I was stuck in this one area and couldn't escape from it.
Is anyone playing co-op? Because that was the other thing that this game was quite good for. You know, and that's one of the reasons why it's remembered in such good stead.
Yeah,
It's got simultaneous co-op, which is quite, it makes it a little bit more fun when you're just going off and exploring. It seems like it's really hard to get excited about stuff like that, but back at the time, that was a big deal.
It was, yeah.
You know?
Certainly.
Whereas now, if you're to play it, it's like, well, you can't wander off away from each other. It's not like the game splits screen or anything. You're limited to the one screen.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not as much fun as ever. But it's, that's a little bit better. It's a game that you could put out on XBLA now.
Yeah.
I'm sort of surprised it hasn't.
Yeah, so am I.
But then
And
it's
you never
probably-
know, they might be holding it back for the film.
Well, if the film makes it, then we probably will see a resurgence of it. But other than that, I'd imagine it's probably just lost in the depths of old LucasArts stuff that they're never going to touch again.
I think it would be made better if they did make it into a twin stick shooter.
Because then you can still switch weapons and stuff
And
with
you
your
still got
shoulder
your face-
buttons.
Yeah, it's totally doable. Absolutely.
Because I find that you're running away and there's a zombie behind you. You
Yeah.
have to turn right.
Do you not
so you
just
can-
feel though as well that like not only have I kind of had enough, I've got enough twin stick shooters for a start,
Yeah,
but I've
that's
also
right.
got there's enough out there, there's enough imitators of this sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's been recent, I can't remember what they're all called. They're all called things like Zombies Must Die or something or whatever. There's a lot of games that are 2 to 4 players. Kids in suburban environments, that angle exactly, twin stick shooters taking on hordes of zombies. There's loads of that stuff. So the idea was obviously a good one back then, but is there a place for Zombies Ate My Neighbours now? I couldn't give a shit whether I never see it again, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't need to be brought back because, like you said, there's enough of them now. But I think it might do quite well if they brought it back because it's
It'll sell off
one
the
of those-
name
yeah.
and the kind of whole nostalgia of the game. I think it got a lot of props at the time for its sense of humour as well. I think it was considered relatively funny.
They make references to other LucasArts properties.
I mean,
as well,
at the end
don't
of the
they,
day,
and
how funny can a Super Nintendo game be? But at the time, I think it was considered pretty humorous.
stuff. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the movie.
If it actually comes out.
If it actually
and-
comes out, yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
if it's
could
like
just
dark
die
and
on its
horrible and
arse,
like
couldn't
nasty
it?
or whatever, but I don't know. But so, closing thoughts then on Zombies Ate My Neighbours, Joe, since this was all for you really, what has Zombies Ate My Neighbours taught you?
It was an interesting game to play. It wasn't the greatest game to play. It was good to play it, and see games back then.
Have a
But-
frame of reference.
Yeah,
How has it changed your opinion of the games you play now?
not really. It's not one that it hasn't stuck out or appealed in any sort of way to change my opinion of games now.
How differently do you look at the games you play now?
Is that pretty much the same question?
Just worded slightly differently.
When you play the games that you play now, what do you think now that you didn't think before?
Nothing. As soon as I stopped playing it and I started playing something else, it went to the back of my mind and I didn't think anything different about what I was playing.
So finally then, before we move on, how do you think this experience will impact the games you play now?
I don't know. Maybe next time I play a twin stick shooter, I think maybe Zombies Ate My Neighbours should come back, but I very much doubt it.
I reckon they should make a new game now off Joe's idea called Zombies vs Neighbours.
Zombies versus Neighbours. And it's a tie-in to the actual TV show, not just like about general neighbours. Or it's just famous neighbours from TV, like the guy from Home Improvement and anyone else.
Yeah.
You know?
You can pick sides, so it could be a zombie and eat the neighbours, it could be a neighbour.
And eat the zombies.
Yeah.
The strategy for being the neighbours is you go out there and you eat the zombies and you immediately turn into a zombie. It's like, yeah, great.
Could have
And zombies
Kit
win.
from
Night
from
Rider?
Boy Meets from Boy Meets
Oh, right,
World.
okay. Mr. Feeney.
Whatever.
All right. Well, that was Educating Joe. Next week, because we're playing another game. Obviously, did we decide what game we were going to do for next week? What game was it?
You've forgotten already. When we was looking at the list and Joe was like,
Oh yeah. Oh
What's-
god, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Super Star Wars.
Yeah, we couldn't decide, and Joe just went, "What is Super Star Wars?" So, Super Star Wars will be our next game.
Are we going to do Super Star Wars or are we going to do Super Empire Strikes Back?
I think
Well, it's Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, ain't it?
No.
Because there's 2 Super Star Wars.
No.
Empire, no.
there's.
It's Super Star Wars. Super
I think we're
Empire
going to do
Strikes Back,
Super. I think we're
Return
going
of
to do
the Jedi.
Super
Okay.
Star Wars and
Okay.
start with Super Star
Start-
Wars. If we
start
come
with
to
that.
it, or we want to have a look at the others, we can. It's not the best one as far as I remember. These are bastard hard games, but they look great.
I mean-
interestingly, another Lucas product.
Yeah.
But that's what we'll be playing for next week. So 7 days from now, we'll be talking about that. If you want to play along, then find the game and have a go and tweet or email us with your opinions on that. But in a week's time, we'll be finding out exactly what Super Star Wars, what an impact that has on the games Joe is playing now. Until next time, that's us. This has been Educating Joe.
Awesome.
Goodbye.
Okay, we're back now in real time.
In real time.
That was Educating Joe.
Well,
that was
it's-
Joe.
It's probably not in real time for the listener.
No, it's real time. More
For
like
us.
real time.
Right now. Right here.
That was Educating Joe.
Yeah.
Ladies, relax. Relax. You know? We got more Educating Joe next week. As you know, we'll be playing Super Star Wars.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe it. We was going through the list. He was like, "What Super Star Wars?"
Yeah. This is
like,
exactly
really?
why Educating Joe needs to
Really,
exist.
Joe?
So, yeah, that's about it for this episode. We'll see you in 7 days' time,
Yeah.
Tuesday. In the meantime, as always, obviously, you can get in touch with us by email at thingsweplay@gmail.com.
Yep.
Or you could even find us on the wonderful Twitter zone with
Just Things We Play.
Yeah, at Things We Play. Do get in touch. Do speak to us about anything. Ladies, if you want to talk to us about Joe, if you want us to help us out, we can point you in his direction or point you in his direction.
We'll point someone in someone's direction.
I'm sounding like Joe now. But anyway, if you want to get in touch with us, like we say, thingsweplay@gmail.com or at thingsweplay at Twitter. We would love to hear from you. You can find personal accounts from there if you so wish. Next week we'll be talking about Max Payne 3.
Yes.
Which is obviously the big release. We're pretty pumped about that, so that'll be interesting. We'll also see what else is out. We don't know what else is coming.
No. We'll find out. We'll have a look at some stuff. We'll talk about it.
But you can guarantee the same time, same place, we'll be there chatting shit about some games that we've played that you maybe should or shouldn't play. I've been Mike Oldman.
I've been Shaun Hart.
And this has been
Things We Play.
Yes. That's right. That's right, isn't it?
I'm on money.
It's been nice. I miss Joe.
I'm sure you do.
You know, not much.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough to mention it.
Exactly. So we'll see you in 7 days.
Sweet.